Welcome to Time Out with Mr. Bruce and part 2 of our episode on play. Well, like any good class, we're going to start with a pop quiz.
Dear parents, it's time for a pop quiz. What's the best kind of play for kids? Play that makes us think? Or helps us pretend? Or teaches us rules? Or to be creative? Actually, every kind of play is important because different kinds of play give us different kinds of skills. Help us mix up the ways we play. Okay, class dismissed. Now go play.
Some of the many amazing benefits that we looked at in our last episode were mentioned in that video clip. And there are so many more benefits to our children's social, emotional, mental, and physical development. But it's not all good news. Unfortunately, the form of play that most of our kids spend most of their time in is missing so many of these benefits mentioned previously. And while there may be some value in play on screens if carefully selected, it can rarely be called valuable play. Devices are a reality of life today, but it is wise to try to limit your child's use of devices in this age where they are becoming increasingly reliant on them, and device addiction becoming increasingly prevalent. Play on screens just can't substitute for the real social and emotional connections that children experience out here. Neither can they take the place of our kids' fundamental need to get out and play and to interact with real people in the real world. More and more research is coming out that too much screen time will have real, long-lasting negative consequences on our social, emotional, cognitive, and certainly our physical development. This is exactly the opposite of the other positive forms of play that kids experience out here. Plus, there is the real potential of having to deal with significant issues related to addiction.
Well, it's a petrifying digital warning that every parent needs to hear. If you think your kids are addicted to their screens, you might be right. New research suggests now that technology is like digital heroin.
Okay, you got my attention. And they say that reliance on screens like that can damage the developing brain of a child the same way that drug addiction can. On the left, a brain scan of a drug addict, and on the right, a digital addict. So how do we fix this before it becomes a problem?
I will include some links to more comprehensive videos and research on this, which goes a bit deeper into this controversial problem. I also encourage you to do some of your own research on this very important topic. Now, don't get me wrong. There are also many benefits to our devices, and digital literacy is important in this digital age. But we all know that it does have a tendency to take over our children's lives and our lives if we let it. The key is for all of us to learn to set limits on screens and still engage in plenty of healthy physical activity and real-world interactions. Now, let's get back to the business of play. Meredith Sinclair of The Genius of Play states that we should think of the play diet as an upside-down pyramid divided into 4 sections. At the top is the largest section that should be filled with active, imaginary, self-directed play. A little further down are board games, construction, reading, and other creative play. Just below this is time spent playing with educational toys and games independently. And at the bottom, in the smallest section, is passive screen play. She also states that play empowers people to be flexible thinkers, creative, young at heart, and free-spirited. It provides an opportunity for pure enjoyment and doesn't need structure. So if you want strong, healthy, confident, socially well-adjusted children with a zest for life, then let them play. If you want your kids to be good in sports, then buy them a ball and let them play. Better yet, play with them and teach them how. So remember, Healthy play is never a waste of time. Encourage it. Even require it as part of your child's daily activities.